Daryl's here. Hey guys, we are here for our little Facebook Live, and I see Daryl's already there. And Daryl,
hi Daryl.
Hi. I got your text, and I'm working on it.
She's like our number one fan.
Already.
She is our number one fan.
She is.
Thank God we have a fan.
She tunes in every single time.
Yeah, she's here before we are.
So let's make it good. That's why we never tell stories about her dog, because your dog is perfect.
Her dog is perfect.
He really is.
Yes, he's a very nice boy.
Okay, so our topic today is holidays, because it's almost Thanksgiving
next week,
oh,
right?
So
that's quick. Yes, it came up.
I love that holiday.
Thanksgiving. It's a good one. Yeah, I think to go to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. They taste so much different, better.
They do.
My dogs like them too.
She gave me duck eggs for baking.
What do you do with the duck egg? It's so big.
You use it the same way as you would use a chicken egg. I had to Google it because I was like,
is it like worth
it's
3
big.
eggs?
No, it's only worth 1 egg.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I had to Google it, and they said with the cholesterol and all that stuff, so it's all the same. It's like the same as 1 egg.
Wow.
And I baked with it.
Wait, we're off topic. Wait, maybe she'll do ostrich eggs. I've always wanted to crack an ostrich egg.
She would need an ostrich.
Well, yeah. Or an emu.
I don't think
those are really giant eggs.
Don't they live in hot places? There is a farm in New York, but we are definitely getting off topic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Back to dogs.
The topic is
how to survive the holidays.
Right.
So there's so many problems that happen in the holidays. Basically relatives show up and they blow up all your training. And my first line of defense to all the students who say, what am I going to do, is for them to send an email and say, dear person who I'm going to be feeding, here's my rules. Mm-hmm. Don't mess with them.
Right.
My dog stays in the crate. Don't ask me why. My dog comes out, he's wearing a leash. Don't ask me why. It has to be laid out. And if you want pumpkin pie, you're going to do what I say.
Exactly. Right. And we preface this at every single Facebook Live. Dogs don't like parties. No. Hands as you say that. Yeah. they don't. It's too much. They get all cranked up. They don't enjoy it like people. So don't worry about the dog has to be socializing with the people. They don't. They are just as happy in their crate or their X-Pen with a nice juicy bone that we actually give them, not your turkey dinner. So they don't need all that human involvement on the holidays.
Right. And you need to exercise them before you stick them in.
Yes.
Right. So, you make sure you get up a little early. I remember one crazy year, we all met, were you there? We met at Camp Golf on Thanksgiving morning. And we did a hike. It was like at 6:30 in the morning. And like 20 people came from the school.
We can't get to work by 9.
You could have said yes.
I can get to work by 9.
And then you run.
Well, that was a tough day. That was a tough day.
And the dogs are hiking, and then not only were they tired and ready to have a little break, but the people felt good about it. And I think that's the biggest part of it, the guilt that people feel. Yeah. In it
and it doesn't have to be, you can go on a hike early in the morning, but it doesn't have to be even like 10, 15, 20 minutes, like just before people come over. Like obviously it's hectic and people are cooking and all that stuff, but just to spend those extra 10 minutes with your dog before company comes over is going to be so helpful, because then he'll be tired and you can just give him a bone and just put him in the crate and he'll be do a mental session, pause up some of the stuff that we work on at the school. Yeah. So they're mentally tired and physically tired.
We're talking about backing up. Like last time I was doing a lot of backing up. Yeah. Backing up is so hard for dogs because they don't like to think in reverse, and they rarely do in reverse. And if you have a good backup, you can go back up your stairs. Oh my gosh, the dog backs up a flight of stairs. That's
Maybe we should do that next week.
We will. Indy does that. We'll do that. We'll show you how he does it. Okay, but then you give them the plan, and the biggest mistake people make is they think that everybody's listening to the plan. And I remember one year, my brother, everybody knew it was happening, and I went upstairs, and there's his kids, like hiding something behind their back. I'm like, what you doing? They're like, we have a butter knife and we're going to pop the lock on your bedroom door and let the dogs out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. See, number one, don't tell people your plan when you're doing something bad like that. Yeah. And number two, get downstairs because they will eat you. Which wasn't true. But they were little and they believed it. Right. They flew downstairs and they were good for the rest of the
That's good. But you know what? That is true. I've had Craig's family come over, and I have my dog in a crate, or someone else's dog in a crate, and they're like, "Oh, that's so mean. Don't let the dog be in the crate." I'm like, "It's not mean. The dog is afraid of people."
Right.
And they all want to let the dog out of the crate. So I have to move the crate to my bedroom for that very reason.
Mhm.
So there's nothing wrong with that either. Maybe not having it in the center of your house so that people don't keep going over, talking to the dog through the crate, you know.
And it keeps
feeding
reminding
it,
them that you
things
have a dog.
Exactly.
Like, I want you to
exactly.
forget I have a dog.
Yeah.
Right. Put
Yeah.
everything away, all the toys in the closet, the crate, everything. The
Where's your dog?
leashes.
At my friend's house.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
And
really.
we're not saying you can't bring the dog out, but it has to be on your terms, and it really does not have to be for the entire Thanksgiving Day
No.
celebration.
I mean, you want to spend time with your family. You want to, you know, have a good time and talk to people. You don't want to have to worry about where your dog is. Like, if
Right.
when my dog's out, I have to be like, oh my gosh, where's my
Right.
dog? You know,
Right.
like,
What
you
is she
know,
doing?
right? What is she doing?
What
What
is
is she
she
getting
eating?
into?
Yep.
Who's she jumping on? You know, whatever.
Right.
Like, you don't have to worry about that. You can just know that your dog is safe and in the crate.
And we're talking about trained dogs too. They have
Yeah.
this issue because, you know, somebody leaves the door ajar.
Yes.
Or like, Nancy, what's your dog doing lately? Like, naughty behavior. Tell
So
them.
it's awful.
It's a confession.
It is a confession.
We're gonna fix it though.
We are.
Go ahead.
So my dog is 11 years old. I go to work. She wasn't in the crate. In 2 weeks, she's done this twice. She has jumped up on the counter and eaten an entire bag of dehydrated food. Not good for my dog.
Right.
So thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Last time it happened, 3 o'clock in the morning, diarrhea.
Mm.
So I will be up at 3 o'clock in the morning with the same problem.
Call her. She'll be
I'll be up.
Yeah.
If you need help, I'm up. We're
Beep her
outside.
at 3 a.m. buddy.
You know, and like I said, my dog's never done this, and she's done it twice in 2 weeks.
So interesting. The solution that we were talking about.
Right.
Because what would you guys think that we would say? What do you think they would think? We'd
Oh, I
say,
was waiting for answers to come up. Be like,
Kathy,
"Kathy,
come on.
Yeah,
Kathy's
tell
gonna
us.
Try backing up the stairs with Prince. Prince
Oh,
will
good.
totally do that.
Do you want a Kathy Santo answer or do you want a client answer?
I want what they think
They are
I
going
would
to say, why wasn't she in a crate?
and they're going to say the solution is put the dog in the
Put the
crate.
dog in the crate.
Right.
Right.
Which is a management thing, yes. But the thing you don't know about Riley is she's a little arthritic,
Mhm.
right? And let's
Very,
say she'd
right.
not been in a crate before. It would be super traumatizing to get that done, and there
Right.
might be backlash. So I want Nancy.
Crate the dog.
Yes, crate the dog.
Crate the dog.
But so, and normally that's what I would say. I'd be like,
Right.
oh, dude, crate the dog.
Right. And I
Yeah.
know that was the answer, but
Correct.
because of her health issues.
But now that we're talking about a dog who has health issues, so now we have to think outside the box. So
Right.
what I told Nancy is there's something, it's from Doberman Security, and it's a little, it's like this big. Nancy has it at her house.
Yes.
That's why I don't have it, because she's still borrowing it.
Right.
But it basically throws a beam for as long as your room is.
Mhm.
And if the dog breaks the beam, it sets off either something like a little, like a buzzer, almost like a doorbell.
like a
dee,
doorbell?
dee, dee. Yeah.
Or a
Car alarm.
crazy alarm. The alarm is
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, the
I
alarm, I
actually
feel like, is
use
better.
the doorbell, and that's all I need.
Right. And you
And it
start low,
works.
go high.
Right.
So that correction teaches the dog that it's a really loud counter and they shouldn't go near it.
Mhm.
And you can use it on the bed too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I use it on the
So-
bed.
And yeah, Kathy said an X pen. You could use an X pen too. But I'm thinking about the times where maybe Nancy leaves the house. The dog
Right.
is not a crate dog. And I'd be worried about the pen being knocked over or
she could
or how she feels
Jumps
just
out and
physically
hurt
in a
herself.
crate
Yeah.
because she's really
Right.
arthritic. So since I know that thing worked for the bed, I'd
Right.
like to see how it works for the counter.
right.
And Nancy, because she's going to help us out with this, she's going to make a video of that.
I will. I
Mhm.
absolutely will.
Get the little stand,
right.
mount the camera,
Yeah.
and set her up.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
she may think that's dinner to snack by music,
Yeah.
right? She might say, ooh, music while I steal what's on the counter. Then we go to something else. But
We
let's
could go
try
to the
this
alarm.
first. But
If
I
you
think
want-
the car alarm would be the next thing.
Yeah. If you want, I have a live camera.
I need
So-
that. I'm gonna. Have
I
to
could
get
give
one.
you that
Yes.
and we could check
So
her
we
out
can
on
all
my
watch.
phone.
And we can share footage with you next
Yeah.
week because we can screen share.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
And the worst part about it is she is arthritic.
Yeah.
There's times when she moves, she cries, she can't walk down the steps. How is she jumping up on the counter?
Stop.
Right?
Well,
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, that makes you think. I mean, obviously she is in pain, but like, she can't be in that much pain. She's
Respond.
jumping on the
No,
counter trying to get all that food.
It's all about response cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go up the
absolutely.
stairs and I get there, and I get there. But I go up on the
And
counter and I get
giant
that.
bag of surf and
So
turf.
she's
Yeah.
more.
Well, I don't blame her. I would jump up there for some surf and turf too.
She's like, it's like the dogs with the invisible fences. They take the hit to get to the other side. Right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Let's talk about collar grab because we said we we're going to talk about this today.
Yeah.
So I think the collar grab happens to people a lot, especially in the holidays. You're decorating the tree, the dog goes forward, you reach for the collar.
Yes.
Somebody opens the door, the dog tries to get out, they reach for the collar.
Yeah.
It
Right.
grabs something. So there's so many times where your dog is grabbed, and if you haven't taught them tolerance or love of collar grab,
Right.
you get in deep, deep trouble. So
Mhm.
it's really something that if you haven't been working on it, you need to up the value of it, up the number
I
of
agree.
reps you do. I think you do 30 reps a day,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
even more.
And that's so important because you're doing it. If somebody else is to grab the collar, it's also different. So it's also a good time to practice when you
Right.
have family members over.
Right.
Make sure you're feeding the dog eats the cookie, you touch the collar, and then you release both at the same time.
Right. And then to even progress it, because like Kathy was saying, you're going to guide the dog back
Yeah.
with the collar. So
Right.
start off with, touching the collar, feeding, and then work on grabbing the collar and dragging
Right.
them to the food. So that way they know, okay, at least the cookie's coming when I get pulled by my collar. So
Right.
it's not always going to be a negative thing.
Right.
It's going to happen.
And I
Absolutely.
think around the holidays too, we do get frantic. I know I do. Ask my kids when company's coming. So even when we're grabbing the collar, I think we're probably being a little bit harsher with our dog
Mhm.
than we normally
She's
would.
so frustrated with everything going on.
And that can also cause problems if the dog doesn't have a solid collar grab, because then
Right.
it's almost an angry collar grab,
Right.
and that's just going to it's going to cause problems that we'll help you fix, but just fix it now.
Dara was
Yeah.
asking a question about what kind of collar do you do collar grab with. I prefer doing it with a flat collar,
Mhm.
a martingale collar, or if your dog's on a head halter, instead of grabbing the collar, I usually go under their chin
Yeah.
and guide them away that way. So
Right.
those would be the collars I prefer to do collar grab with.
Right.
And
Yeah.
again, I want your dog when you reach for the collar to be like, yippee, the collar grab.
Right.
I don't
Right.
want them
Right.
to be like, holy hell. But if you don't transfer it to other people, then it's never going to work the way you want it to work.
Right.
I also want to talk about the fact that when you're cooking, I know you love having your dog around. Maybe the people aren't at your house yet, but that's a good time to have them hanging out in like a tether area, in a crate area.
Yes.
If you have go to place, if you have an X pen, that's Kathy when I would use the X pen if you're cooking. If
I
you have a
agree.
trained dog, they can go to place. But if you're in puppy beginner stages, you don't have that kind of latitude. So you have to set it up to survive the
Right.
holidays. And then the other thing is, you think people come over and they can help you. I know a lot of people think that. Oh, company's here. Hey, can you walk the dog?
Yeah.
Really? Is that what you're going to say?
No.
Walk the dog? And you can, but it's a longer conversation. Right?
Exactly.
Well, then
Yes.
explaining to them, right, what you have to do.
Right.
And, don't let
Please
them get
don't
out
let them
ahead.
pull.
Don't let them
Yeah.
jump.
And
Right.
what the commands are.
Right.
Right.
Don't tell them to sit. And then, because I know a lot of times, my family too, like they'll say, Titan sit. And then he doesn't. And then they're like, okay, you're
Yeah,
fine. Let's just keep
whatever.
going. Yeah.
Right,
And I'm like,
right.
no, you have to make him do it. You said it. I want him to know that with everybody, he needs to learn.
Yes.
Done that.
Right.
And then, oh, where's that rotten dog down the corner who always charges
Right.
you at the fence, right? So don't
Mhm.
go that way.
Mhm.
And when I do pick up after him, he has to do a sit. And what to do if he gets out of the sit.
Right.
Right.
And that point,
It's
people
a
are
lot.
like, you walk your own damn dog.
It's a
Right,
lot.
yeah.
Right.
And you're like, well,
Right.
then you finish cooking.
My mom says that too, because I have like a whole regimen for feeding my dogs. Like I think it's salmon oil and the vitamins and the powder
Right.
and blah, 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 blah. So I have it written down. So one day I kept changing the food and my mom was like, you just do it. It's fine.
Mhm.
You just feed the dogs. It's fine. I'm like, well, no, like if I'm not home, she's like, well, then they won't eat.
They were
It's
chubby
It
anyway.
was too much. Yeah. She's like, it's fine. They'll be fine.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot.
And it seems like, what's the big deal if it happens once or twice? But it
Yeah.
does, because if it happens once, the dog is like, aha, there's a possibility I can get away with it again.
Right.
Oh,
And-
what happened with Riley the first time she ate the
Exactly.
food off the counter?
Exactly.
She did it again.
She did it
'Cause
again,
worked.
and now I have a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to have problems. We want you to survive the holidays, and we've got lots of great tips. But this is just our like Thanksgiving tip.
Right.
But we got tips for everything.
Yeah.
By the way, if you have something you think your dog is going to respond to negatively over the holidays, bring it to class.
Yeah.
We constantly train with people's decorations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll bring in
Yeah.
like the thing they don't want the dog to touch that goes by the front door, or the platter or whatever you want. Just bring it to us and we'll teach the dog to leave it, which you've been doing a lot of work on, I hope. But we can make it specific to your things that you use in the holidays.
And the outdoor holiday decoration, those are scary to dogs, especially the ones that blow up. You know, as you are walking the dog or whatever, they're blowing in the wind. And make sure you have food and you're overzealously feeding them in those areas.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of dogs that are afraid of those things and they start to bark and growl at them. You know, it's a fear, almost aggression.
Right. So I would drive my route before I walk the dog, just so I know what's new in my neighborhood, especially if I had a fearful dog.
Yeah.
If I have a confident dog, I don't really care. I'll deal with it as it happens. But if I have a fearful dog and my neighbors are putting up stuff for the holidays, I want to know about it, and then I'm going to plan another route.
Right.
If I don't feel
And you're
like
right. It pops up every day. You know, all of a sudden it's a full holiday on the block.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So we have a gift giving guide that we want to show you. We love gifts. Let's see. We'll talk about our antlers. Yeah.
Shall I?
Antlers. Yes, you
Yes.
shall.
Okay.
These are so exciting.
Do you want them?
Yeah.
You want the big one?
Just
I have.
of the princess
Small,
as
medium.
the crown.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like
like
the
a real
same.
antler. Did you look?
Oh yeah.
It's like a crown antler.
It's perfect.
All right. So we've talked about these before. Now I have cool name tags. You can order them online. We'll put it in the comment section. Look, yay.
Right.
Antlers.
Look
These
at
will
the
keep your dogs
size of
busy.
these, right?
They're huge.
There's no smell. Your dog is not going to get diarrhea because they're not. It takes forever to eat this.
Forever.
Yeah, a bully stick takes, like I have a big chewer.
Yeah.
And it takes him, I swear, like 5 minutes.
Right.
Maybe 10.
And sometimes there's an odor with that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't smell very good at all.
No, but there is
These are
no
great.
odor. It's good for their teeth,
It is.
Helps
It's a
clean
natural
the
source
teeth.
of calcium.
right?
Yep.
They're from moose, and moose
Right.
antlers are harder than deer and elk.
Right.
And then, they're naturally shed.
right?
Mhm.
No moose
No
fur.
moose.
Moose
Meese.
Oh,
Meese.
wait, I swear I'm having. Okay, so we were literally just having this conversation at school. I wish Nikki was watching because she would understand.
Nikki's watching.
So we were
Nikki,
talking
hi,
about these, and somebody was saying, "Oh, that's not really good. I don't like that. It's the antler." And we said, "No, they naturally shed." So we were just talking about that, and then we just talked about the difference, like if you say moose or moose or moose.
So what's the answer?
It's moose. Or
Oh.
sometimes people say mooses, but it's not right. We googled it. It says moose.
These are antlers from moose.
Yay!
Yeah.
I was going to say no
They
meese.
were like, no, meese. Like meese sounds so
Yeah,
fun. We were just
yeah.
talking about it, so that's actually
That's
pretty
very
funny that
cool.
you guys
So
said
we all
that.
learned two really important
Yeah.
facts.
Yes.
We did. Now, you also can get them flavored. They don't really need flavor, but some
No.
people want flavor.
Mhm.
I think she has bacon. I think she has chicken. What I do with these, I'll soak this if my dog gets bored with it, after a long time.
Mhm.
You can soak it in chicken or beef broth or whatever, and then
Oh.
put it in the fridge.
Nice.
And then they're rehydrated. You can do that with warm water too.
Mm.
You can also scratch them up with sandpaper
Yeah.
Mhm.
or scrape them up
Rejuvenate it.
on the driveway. Or let us take your antlers home. Our dogs will chew it.
And I'll give it back to you.
That's
We
so
know
funny,
Ryan
though,
will.
because dogs like toys that other dogs have.
Absolutely.
I think we should start a swap like that.
like a
Dog
Christmas dog
chew
swap.
swap.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
get
a good
yours
idea.
back and it's all chewed up and your dog goes, oh, I love it even more.
that's pretty fun.
And so a couple things about this. Number one, we are donating some of the profits from this to Ramsey Responds, which is a community-based charity.
That's awesome.
And they help people out in the Ramsey area, which is our town. We love Ramsey.
Yep.
And then the other thing we're doing is we have a program where we will donate an antler, or you can actually ask to have an antler donated to the police officers who have canine unit dogs.
Oh,
So
nice.
I am donating my first antler, and I am going to donate. Where's the giant one? The giant pit bull one.
This one you have it.
Is that the pit bull one?
Mhm.
Okay. This is going to Bacon. We have a student who has a dog.
Oh, that's very
And I'm going to get
nice.
Bacon, the bacon flavored one.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
Bacon has a sister, Shia. So Shia gets one too. But that's going to be our first donation. And Bacon is a New Jersey Transit explosive sniffing dog. And he's awesome. And he's huge.
He is pretty
Huge
great.
black lab. And it's the best name ever. We love Bacon.
I'll take. Okay.
Jared wants to know how much are they. That's so funny because we were talking about this and I just got them in today. And I'm like, Lauren, how much are they? And she's like, I don't know. It's in the paperwork. And I'm like, well, we're 5 minutes late for live.
But
Text me, Daryl.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
And they're definitely affordable, and they're better price than if you were to buy them in the stores, for sure.
Well, normally,
Yeah,
you
and the
get a
big
small
box
one.
stores, not only are
They're
they
stale.
smaller.
Mhm.
Oh, who is the doorbell?
Huh, you got me.
Should I get it?
I'll go see.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Talk about
Hey, it's your
antlers.
door.
Yeah. We'll talk about antlers.
Right. So we were talking about the stores. These are definitely, we know these are super fresh. And if you scroll down in the comments, there's also a 10% off. You can go on the
Mhm.
site and you'll see how much they are. But we also do sell them at the school.
Yes, we're going to
because
sell
we just
them.
got them in, and I
Just
know they're
Amazon.
more affordable than they would be in the stores.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so much fresher. So you don't really have to boil them or sand rejuvenate them when you first get them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just Amazon, and I guarantee you it was a dog toy.
Oh, yeah.
It's something I ordered because I was testing my list, because you're going to see on the blog the list of things that we love. I'm going to have to move the cursor. And then it comes down. Come on.
You're looking for
I'm trying to get it to here. See?
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
So
Oh.
see how
You
I'm
have
so
notes.
techie. So there's a few things that we put on this list. One is the antlers. The other is my online dog training course, which opens to students on the 1st.
It's
and
really
then-
great. You guys should
Yeah,
sign up
it
for
is.
It's really awesome.
Definitely
so
check it out.
informative.
Oh, I love that.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
we're
Did
going
you
to
bring
talk
it?
about what I didn't. It's at the school.
Darn it.
Oh,
Okay.
you should have told me to bring it. I like this one for when we're doing, I mean, you could use it for really anything, but when you're cutting dogs' nails, it's like a bone, and you can stick it onto something, and
And
you can
suction
stuff
cups.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can stuff it with like cheese or something
Wait.
fun.
I'm going to bring it up. Keep talking
Oh,
about it.
And I used it actually right when Kathy got it. There was a dog who was a little bit uncomfortable with me touching his nails, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. Let me try it." And it worked wonders.
Mhm,
The dog was so focused on eating the food that I had no idea I was cutting its nails. So it really did.
Yeah.
It really worked. So I love it. It's just like a green bone.
Wait, how are you going to
Oh,
do
okay.
this, Kathy?
Just
Okay,
hold it up
so
to the camera.
high technology. I'm going to actually hold this to the camera.
Yeah.
That is so tragic.
Can you see it?
Can you see
Oh,
it?
there you go. You got it.
Yeah.
See that? Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So what you do is you stick like Cheese Whiz or peanut butter in
And
there.
there's a hole in there, too.
Yeah,
And
you
it
can
even
even stuff stuff in
more
there.
stuffing.
And it has suction. Like, remember the bath toys for the kids?
Yeah, suction cup.
And
Yeah.
you suction into the
To the
bathtub and
wall
the kids
or
can
the
play.
mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty great.
Right. So that is going to be my favorite of the list. So what about you guys?
I think we haven't talked about the
Here. I'm going to roll through it. You tell me.
no, not that.
Oh, I
The-
have my
the
own. It might not be on
thing
your
with
list.
the toy at the end of it, your little stick.
Oh,
the flirt pole.
Flurple,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yes, the flurple. I love the flurple. So instead of going on your 5-mile hike at 6:00 in the morning, you can go outside
Yeah.
and you can play with the flurple.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
But we have a
Ceiling?
skylight that we really don't need.
Guys,
to
I
be
tried
covered.
really hard to keep going.
But
Yeah, I know. You guys
It
know.
was too bright in here earlier, so Ryan and Brittany put
It's
up
gonna fall.
a board
And it's,
Not-
it's
over the skylight.
hovering over
It's
Lauren's
hovering.
head right now.
I should just pull it down.
No, it's okay. Just
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay.
If it falls, it falls.
It's,
All right,
But
so the flirt pole,
The
yes.
flirt pole, yeah.
Right.
It has like a little thing on the end of it, like a toy, and you just flip it back and forth, and you pretty much stand still, and you just have the dog chase the toy around, and there you go. There's your dog's exercise.
And then we use it for impulse control too.
Right.
So it can be a training because
Mhm.
you know we always have to change everything into training.
Yep.
right. Favorite list. But how about just a good old fashioned tug toy? You know, we have a bunch at the
Yes.
school with the fleecy in the middle and 2 handles.
It's on
And-
there.
Oh,
It's
good,
on our
good.
list,
'Cause
yeah.
That is one of my favorites. I love it, one, because it gets my dog so engaged in me. So that's my training moment. If I'm trying to get them to do something, I can get them to come to me better. I can get them to work better. But also, it's exhausting for the dog because it's
Yeah.
and me.
It is.
But it's so much fun. And you can work on your drop it, especially with the holidays coming around. You want to make sure you have a nice drop it. You know, say Riley picks up somebody's scarf or something and I need to have it released.
Yeah. And the
so-
scarf is the same kind of fleecy, like your
Yes,
tuck toys.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
we have
they're
a,
just fun.
we have a
Yeah.
student right now. We're working with her, and at home she doesn't like to let go of the toy, and when she does let go of the toy, she likes to grab it again. So we
Yes.
have games for that,
Mhm.
and I promise that Miss Lucy will be doing that game for you very soon. Actually, she does it really great now.
Yeah.
So we just have to transfer it to her mom
Right.
and her dad. And Lucy is the cutest thing ever. Maybe we'll get a picture of her on there. Oh, that's another thing. You guys could be posting your pictures of your dogs, and bragging about them when we do our live. And you could also do Q&A because we can see, right, Nance?
I can't, but they can.
Well, I can. I got you.
I can see. Yeah.
I'll read the questions.
We can see questions if you ask us. So, all right. So that's our list.
But you can also tell us the bad things you do, so I don't feel left out. That's okay too.
And Nancy confessed.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
did.
I'm good. I'm good for now.
It's a good week. Yeah.
For now. Yeah. 2 days.
right.
Still within 2 days.
All right. So next week we're going to be live on Monday instead of Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then we will be back the following week on Tuesday.
Are we doing the same time?
I think we're going to do 3.
We're going to do earlier. Right?
Earlier. Look for
Right.
I'm thinking 3, but we're going to definitely make sure it's 3. And I think that's the day I'll release the holiday survival guide to all of you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very exciting. Yep.
Yeah. No, very
We also
exciting.
have a bot on our Facebook page. It should be working soon, right, Ryan and Brittany? Yeah. We called it Corgi Bot, and basically it talks to you. You know what bots are, right? They pop up and they ask you questions, and it's yes, no, and it's fun. And Corgi Bot is awesome. So look for that. And what else? And our moose antlers will be available at the school or in the comments.
And we'll know
it
the
should be a
price. If you
discount.
come
We
to the
will
school, we will study this
But they
tonight.
are definitely more affordable than if you were to
Yes.
buy them at your regular pet store.
And fresher. So
Yeah, because they were all saying that, oh my God, that's it. But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
remember your
Yeah.
antlers should last you a long time.
hmm
They shouldn't be, a 1 session thing. It should
No.
be.
No.
We love them. All right. You good?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm good.
All right. All right, guys. We'll see you next week on Monday. And if you need us before then, you know where to find us. All right. Bye.
Bye.